But it just it's like I'm gonna tell you something, and we talked about this off camera. But what really stood out to me is when they're talking about making La Bamba, and he's like, I want to sing this in my native language. He doesn't put it that way, okay?
Yeah.
But he's basically like, I want to sing this in my native language, and the exec's like, no, you don't want to do that, and da 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 da, right? And they have this dialogue about it. And so when he goes on, and what was that? The Bopper? What was that show? The
American
Bopper,
Rock Band or something like that.
whatever that show was. That part when he there's a moment when they call Richie out there and he kind of pauses for a second, like, should I? You know what I mean? It's kind of like that moment when you got the devil on one side and God on the other, and they're like, you should do this and you should do, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. And he strums out the first few notes, and then he goes, la 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 bamba, and the crowd goes wild. And I loved it because I felt like in that moment, he was kind of saying, you know what? Nobody's going to tell me who I am. I'm Richie Valens, damn it. And watch this. Watch this. Yeah, I might have to change my name, but you're not going to tell me what I can play. Watch this. And I loved it. That moment to me was transcendent because that to me was him kind of taking back his power. That was him kind of taking back his identity, so to speak. You know what I mean? Because my name's Terry Wilson, but if somebody had, well, no, you're going to be John Smith. So he's got to change his names to Richie Valens to fit in, right? To fit into the 1950s American culture. And when he sings La Bamba, this to me is like him saying, "Nah, I'm Richie Valenzuela. What up, people? Here I am. Let's go."
Mhm.
That to me was what I got from that scene, and I loved it.